Hello and welcome to WG Content's Unscripted, our new talk show where we invite different guests to come in and talk to us a little bit about them and their lives and their hobbies and kind of what they're up to and very little about work. So today we have Matt Cyr, founder and president of Loop AI, which is, if you're not familiar with Matt, I'm surprised because he's all over the place. But Matt, his agency is a consulting business for agencies, healthcare, and higher ed on all things AI. So welcome to Unscripted, Matt.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so glad to have you. So we were just chatting about our 4th of July weekend, and one of the things that you share with me is that you have triplets, 19-year-old triplets. So I want to
True.
start
Yes.
there. So I want tell us about being a dad to triplets, about your kids, where are they at? What are their names? Love to start there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So yes, they are 19. We have two girls and a boy. And I guess I should call them two women and a man at this point. The girls, women are Olivia and Sophie, and our son is Jackson.
Okay.
Uh, and you would not know that they're triplets if you looked at them. They don't look anything alike. In fact, we have Sophie and Jackson have sort of mine and my wife's sort of coloring, and
Yeah.
then has blonde hair and blue eyes, and so very different looking people, very different personalities, but all very close to one another. Always
Yeah.
have. They were 2.5 months premature. So one of the things that you
Wow.
and I were chatting about was our shared love of children's hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
And so our kids, when I lived and worked in Boston, spent some time at Boston Children's Hospital, and so they're amazing now. They're all healthy and smart, and our daughters go to University of South Carolina.
Okay.
They're Pratt Dowd moment.
Yeah.
They both finished their freshman year with 4.0 GPAs. Uh,
Yes.
and our son
Nice.
is taking a different path. He's doing an HVAC apprenticeship and
Oh, I love
uh,
that.
got a full-time job
Yep.
and a working man getting up early and all that good stuff. So yeah, they're a ton of fun, and it's been quite a series of adventures for the last 19 years.
So is your son at home or is he in his own place?
Right now he's at home, so
Okay.
he luckily saved us from going from three children down to zero on one day in one day,
Oof, that would be a good one. Yeah.
which would have been serious empty nester syndrome.
Yeah.
But no, he's living here, and he's got a 2-year commitment to the school, and then we're imagining he'll probably move back up to New England,
Okay.
where we moved from a
Okay.
few years ago, because he can't stand the heat. So he wants to get back
Oh.
to the snow and cold and ice, which
So
is
what
why
brought you to Charleston?
we had been in New England for a long time, and I think we were just ready for sort of a new adventure.
Yeah.
Um, we were we had visited down here, and my wife and her family used to vacation down here in Hilton Head.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got to the point where we're kind of tired of the darkness and
Mm-hmm.
the cold and the snow, and why don't we try something new? And so we
Yeah.
tested out a few different cities
We
and
picked
landed.
a good spot.
Yeah, we love it. I mean, I always say I can put my toes in the ocean 20 minutes from my front door,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal, especially this time of year.
Well, I love that college campus right there too. I've been, walked through that a
Yes,
few times. I'm like, am I in a movie or is
I
this real
know.
life? Like, it almost doesn't seem
It
like
is
it's a real
beautiful.
college experience?
Yeah,
But
just being able to walk downtown
yeah.
Charleston from
Oh
the
my
city
gosh, so
is
pretty.
unbelievable. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, that's
Yeah,
great. And I know you shared that you had a really nice family reunion this past weekend, and the
did.
19-year-old kids are the younger of the group. So that's a nice, fun dynamic, which, it's that transition from teenagers to young adults and getting them all together, which is both super fun and sometimes a little uncomfortable and challenging, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a new experience for us, but
Yeah.
our kids had a blast and got to hang out with their older
Good.
cousins, and
That's great.
we brought
Yeah.
some South Carolina fireworks with us, and had
Perfect.
our own little fireworks show. It was great.
Well, great. All right. Well, we have a few questions in our
Cool.
unscripted fashion. You don't really know what these questions are, but we're going to go through a few of them, get to know you a little bit better, and see what we learn. So,
Cool.
first
So
question, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What's a random fun fact you love to share at parties or trivia nights?
Good one. Okay. So this one is easy. And it sounds a little strange, but I once had an audience with the Shanti King of Ghana. which is kind of it sounds funny to say it out loud, but as you can see behind me here, I've got two masks. These are both from Ghana. In 2008, when I was still working at Boston Children's Hospital, I was part of a medical surgical mission that one of our surgeons, who's from Ghana, every year would go back two different times and was actively building the capability for the Ghanaians to care for children with congenital heart defects.
Mm.
And so I had the opportunity on the marketing communications team to go with them and really act as their essentially their PR person. So for 10 days, we were in Ghana and,
Wow.
people coming, families literally walking from all over Western Africa to be seen by the surgical and nursing team and actually having surgery while we were there. So I had the opportunity to be in the operating room during open heart surgery for a couple of the kids and really sort of experience that. But the mission itself was such a big deal to the country that the Ashanti King, which is one of the main tribes in Ghana, wanted to share their appreciate. He wanted to share his appreciation. So an audience with him where he thanked the team for being there and helping the kids. And so probably my first and probably my only audience with a king in my
Yeah.
lifetime.
Well, and that is an experience that goes beyond like a fun story to tell at a cocktail party. That's like a
Yeah,
life-changing experience. I mean,
it was.
when you were at Boston Children's, did you have a chance to be in an operating room just in your role there? Or, I mean, was that a unique experience to be able to be there in Ghana and
Yeah.
see those surgeries?
So I actually I'd been in the OR for actually a double lung transplant one time.
Okay.
I was at Boston Children's because no, actually no, that was when I was at Brigham and Women's. Sorry, going all the way back. My first job out of college was at Brigham and Women's
Okay.
Hospital, and I
Hmm.
was working in the thoracic surgery division. And as you can imagine, a lot of what they do there is work with folks who have cystic fibrosis. And so we would
Hmm.
have adult patients who would sometimes be having double lung transplants or single lung transplants. And at one point, I got to go into the OR for a double lung transplant, and I was standing right behind the surgeon essentially and sort of watching this happen and talk about life changing. It was
Right.
fascinating to watch the person was on bypass, and so you could see the heart, pumping and the lung was there, but they were, attaching it,
Yeah.
and it was sort of a gray mass. And then once it was fully attached, they connected it back up to the bypass machine, and it sort of literally breathed to life and turned from gray to pink. And it was just
Miracle of medicine, right? It's
stunning, stunning moment.
remarkable.
Yeah. So that was my
Yeah.
Ghana was my second time in the operating room, and I didn't pass out either time. So I was proud of myself.
Yeah. What was there a thing I mean, was there one thing? I mean, many things about those experiences, and I'm sure were just so fascinating, but was there anything you were surprised by? Like, I've never had that opportunity. So I think like being able to watch and observe something like that, I'm sure there's things that like, oh, I didn't realize or I didn't think about. Was there anything that sticks out that was super surprising to you about the procedure or the technique or
Yeah, I think for me it just it sort of just demystified it a little bit because you have all these ideas in your head of
yeah,
what it might look like or feel like or whatever.
right.
I think just to see these really talented people, surgeons, nurses, everybody that's in that
Team of
room,
people, sure.
just focused and
Hmm.
so unbelievably, of course, talented, but just also very workmanlike, right? I mean,
Hmm.
it's and you kind of want that, right?
Right,
If you're
right.
right,
Yeah.
you want somebody who's just like, I just know what I'm doing
Yep.
here and I'm going to do
Yep.
it this way. And so there was some of that of like, okay, this is just not
Yeah.
like this is just a job, but
I
like
understand what you're saying.
this is
Yeah.
work, right? And
Yep.
I'm here and I know what I'm doing. And so that part of it to me was fascinating. The other
Hmm.
part that was really interesting is when we were in Ghana, as I said, I was sort of documenting the experience, and so I had a camera with me in the operating room, and as we were going through the procedure, I noticed a mosquito come flying across the room, And I thought, oh my gosh, like what an eye-opening moment because you've got this child who's getting
Right.
care from one of the best surgeons and surgical teams in the world. And yet you're in a place where
Right.
mosquitoes are still prevalent and this child could end
Yeah.
up with, some
Infection or yeah.
illness as a
Yeah.
result. So that was a super like grounding
That's a
moment.
really interesting, yeah, to have that perspective, and
Yeah,
just see it like that.
yeah,
Interesting. Well,
yeah,
that's cool that you've had those experiences. I mean, it
yeah.
makes you, I'm sure, at that time, and even still today, you're still in healthcare, just have such, even that perspective, having that experience and getting that close to to medicine and the care and what's happening makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and to see that impact, right? To have literally people,
Yeah,
as I said, walking from all over all over Western Africa
yeah,
because it just was not something that was available to them. And you see, in
right.
some ways, we take for granted, I think, all the amazing things at Boston Children's or Cincinnati Children's that are happening every day. And yet there are
Yeah,
places in the world where that's just simply not possible.
yep, yeah, yeah. Thank heavens for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to another fun question. Let's see,
Okay.
we'll pick out one of these. We have a bunch of them here in front of us. So, what's a little thing that always makes your day better no matter what?
Every day, I love to start my day with a good cup of coffee.
Oh, what kind of
It's,
coffee do you
it's
drink? How
I'm
do
a
you make
dark
your coffee? Yeah, like
person.
let's talk about what your coffee is like.
Yeah, it's so I'm like a French roast, dark
Okay.
roast person, black, no sugar. I mean, no, a little bit of sugar, no cream, no milk. And I like it strong. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and so I make it here at the house and that way I can pump up the strength as much as I
Yeah.
want and need, which is
Are you
often
like 2 cups, 3 cups all day coffee drinker, morning only?
morning only, multiple
Yeah.
cups. When the kids were first born, as you can imagine, we were not sleeping very much.
Yeah.
So I was going through probably 10 cups of coffee a day, if not more.
Yeah.
At that point, we were so sleep deprived that I could have coffee at like 10 o'clock at night and it wouldn't have any
Yeah.
impact on me.
Yeah.
But now, if I have coffee in the afternoon, it'll keep me up later. So
We're
I,
too
I
old. We're
stopped
too
doing
old for
that.
that now. We can't be doing
Exactly
that.
right.
Like, no, no coffee afternoon.
Exactly right.
No, it's
Let's
not happening.
let's
Yeah.
just stop here. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. All right. One last question because I think we're just about at our 10 minutes and then we're
Wow.
going to go into a few rapid fire questions. But I want to pick out one that I think will be really fun.
Hopefully I'm up
Oh,
for
this
it.
one's cool. If you could time travel to any era just for the vibes, where
Oh,
would you
the
go?
vibes.
Yeah, like
Ooh,
what's
the
the time era
vibes.
vibe that you love?
All right. So I think that one's also pretty easy for me because I think I would love to go to ancient Egypt.
Oh, okay.
I've not ever been to Egypt. It's on my bucket list,
Okay.
but I would love to just go back and sort of see at the sort of the height of
Mm-hmm.
the kingdom, what it was like there and how
Mm-hmm.
much different it would be compared to what we imagine it was like.
Mm-hmm.
And would just be fascinating to see, the pyramids when they were in their heyday, and the Sphinx when it was in its
Yeah.
heyday. So I think
Yeah.
that would be really really cool.
And just see how they did it.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
mean, it's like the mysteries of the world, and to be able to see how some of that was accomplished.
Totally
Be
debunk
pretty
all the
cool.
conspiracy theories,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Right, right. All right, so let's end with a few
Right.
rapid fire questions. Here we
Let's do
go.
it.
Road
Go
trip
ahead.
or staycation?
Oh man, road trip. Yeah, road
Mm,
trip for sure. I love traveling. I love seeing the world. So definitely road trip.
yeah, ditto. Live concert or cozy movie night?
Little from column A, little from column B. I like each
Yeah,
one of those.
yeah,
I do love going to live concerts. In fact, one of the great things about having a young adult child is that one of our daughters in particular loves live music. So we've been to a bunch of concerts together. So live music, and then also who doesn't love a good movie night?
yeah. Okay, so what's the last concert you went to?
Last concert was with my daughter and my wife and one of my daughter's friends. We went to go see Greta Van Fleet.
Oh my gosh, my son loves him or them.
Yeah, they
Yeah. Oh,
were
so good.
phenomenal. They were phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that the last one? Actually, it might have been the last one. There's a really cool outdoor music festival here
Okay.
um, called High Water. And actually, that might have been our last one because last spring we went to High Water.
Okay.
Um, Noah Khan was the headliner, so we got to see
Yeah.
him, which is
Yeah.
a fan favorite here in our house. So one of those, I
That's
can't remember the
awesome.
exact timing.
I'm heading to Chris Stapleton in a couple weeks, so I'm looking
Ooh,
forward
oh,
to
that'll be
that. Yeah.
phenomenal. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so be the expert in one thing or good at many things.
Mm. So I think this has changed over my career and my life. I think it's be the expert in one thing
Hmm.
at this point. And I think actually it's because I started my own business last year. I
Hmm.
had never done that before, and I felt like I really needed to be as focused as I could be and wanted to
Yeah.
have a very clear path
Yeah.
forward. So for me, wanting to become just really great at something
Yeah.
and make an impact in something is where I am now. But I think when I was younger, I think I was probably trying to figure out like how can I be good at lots of things so that I
Sure.
could be versatile and
Hmm.
all that kind of stuff. So
Well, and I think you
change
have to
over
have that
time.
kind of, that growth path, where you're sort of a
Totally.
generalist in many things, and then you become really more of a practitioner in one or two things and becoming an
Totally.
expert at that. All
Yeah.
right, well, you survived.
I made it. All
You
right.
made it. You made it through. And as we wrap up, would love to ask you this question. Just
Yeah.
given the world today and the chaos in 2025, what's bringing you joy these days?
What is bringing me joy? Honestly, this I promise I'm not just buttering you up. It's stuff like this. I just love connecting with people and meeting
Yeah,
people and having conversations and learning about others and talking shop. I love what I do for a living, and
yeah,
so I love talking to people about that. So that honestly just brings me a ton of joy. And on a more simple note, it's also just heading down to the beach.
yeah,
I love that I'm 20 minutes away and I can just go spend an hour down there and it doesn't have to be a big undertaking. I could just enjoy the ocean and come on back an hour later. So
yeah.
that's
You're
a pleasure.
lucky. And we're lucky that we have you around in our space. So thank
Thank
you for
you.
everything that you do. And I know we will be in touch as we continue to collaborate and do fun things together. So thanks
Yeah, this
again.
is amazing. Yeah, this
Take
is great,
care.
Kristen. Thank you.